From the Ugly Parrot Studios in Newcastle, California, the Loom Cigar Cartel presents Beyond the Humidor, a cigar podcast for the rest of us. Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Humidor. Scott Robinson with you. I am going to start this off with an apology. I'm not dressed my best today. It's cold out there, so I'm going full sweatshirt. So it is what it is, as I drink grog out of my Christmas present from Greg. Thank you, Greg.
My pleasure.
One of life's great mysteries, though, I don't know. It's kind of hard to drink out of this because I'm trying to be real careful not to have it spill all over me, especially like middle of podcast.
I never thought about that.
I feel like I should be in Game of Thrones yelling innkeeper more grog. I don't know. Hey, Gorilla, how's it going over there?
The gorilla is good. The gorilla is content. The gorilla is happy. The gorilla has a tiny shout out he'd like to do real quick.
By all means, Gorilla.
I've talked about this on the show before. One of my friends / Eagle Scout friends / former scouts is at Cal Maritime. My buddy Zach. We've met him. We've hung out. The other day he sent me a video. The last couple weeks he's been studying aggressively for the Maritime Coast Guard certification test. Basically not the technical license he's going to get from the college, but the you are allowed to be on a boat, you know the safety, you know the regulations test. Right on. To become a merchant seaman engineer for ships. 8 tests, 8,000 potential questions that are randomly picked, and you have to know the answers to all of them, but you only get a select few of them, so nightmarish. But the other day he got to ring the certification bell on campus because he passed all 8 tests, and he is, in the eyes of the Coast Guard, now an official engineer for large sailing vessels. And not going to lie, I did choke up a little bit when I saw it. Because, again, this is a young man I've known since he was 11, and he's doing cool shit, and that's fucking awesome. So, Zach, I am super proud of you. And please, as we've discussed, you are never allowed to work on a roll-on, roll-off vehicle cargo vessel. Apparently, those are death traps, and I've told him you are not allowed to work on those. You can work on literally any other vessel on the planet. So.
There we go. All right, so we raise our grog.
Yes.
Huzzah! Is that the way you say it, Greg?
Wouldn't know.
You know everything else in English. Why wouldn't you know that?
It's not English.
Oh, well, see, there you go. Hey, Greg, how's it going?
Good. I'm just
the Queen.
just sitting here putting the final touches on a press release that was sent to us by our good buddy Brandon. Fortunately, we talked about that a couple weeks ago, and I've been delayed on getting it out there, but it's out, Brandon. He's releasing 2 new cigars, but a good day. Went to the opera last night, had a good time, smoking a nice cigar today with you 2 chuckleheads.
An opera, Lawrence.
An opera. Notice I didn't ask you 2 to go because y'all wouldn't appreciate it.
Fuck you mean?
Overalls and no shirt it is.
Dude, you should have seen how some people were dressed. It was like, wow.
Oh, God, is this a repeat of Phantom of the Opera?
Pretty much. You should know that by now.
Jesus. Between him and my wife, they're sitting there just talking shit about everybody, and I'm sitting here like, y'all 2 are writing checks your asses can't cash.
And that's what we got you for.
Shit. I'll be like, oh, there's drinks over there. You guys are on your own.
Scott drove home from Phantom of the Opera by himself.
Scott flew home from Phantom of the Opera by himself. How you doing, Larry?
Oh, I'm still trying to process all this opera horse shit. Other than that, not bad.
My, oh, my, oh, my. Well, I don't know. Is that device still in the background?
Just barely.
Okay.
Probably could have ignored it if you didn't say anything, but now
Well,
we're here.
I was just going to say something because I had some thoughts when I walked in here and saw it. I have an idea. If your previous deal falls through, I think we should start another company. I need some more shell companies.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah, I got offered a voiceover gig earlier today and was told, I was like, okay. It's like, yeah, I want Folding Green money because I need to like make my shell company actually look like a company.
So much for the People's Bank of Brighton Beach, huh?
Yeah.
Shh, don't tell them where the check's coming from.
Yeah.
Don't ever do that again.
What was
The
it?
whole shh in the mic, man. Jesus Christ.
Oh, nah. I think Lawrence and I are going to start a vending machine company. We'll start off with one vending machine and we'll grow. We'll convince local business people to have our machines in their stores, $5 Cokes, and they pay for the Cokes in advance.
Nice.
And then we get about 40% off the take that goes into the machine as well.
Oh, Lord, Don Robinson's coming out again.
Don Robinson? Why would it be Don
Somebody's here.
Robinson?
Somebody's here. Somebody's
merely-
outside.
I'm merely a businessman. Who's knocking at the door on the... Well, I fucked that joke up. Never mind. Never mind.
As the gorilla ambles over to the front.
From the gorilla enclosure.
Luckily, the door's on automatic.
Oh my gosh, it's surprise guest, Pat Walsh.
It's Pat.
It's the Walsh of the day.
Don't
you're good,
apologize.
man.
You're good. We knew you were coming.
Okay, well, thank you. Hate to intrude there, sorry.
No, you're not intruding at all. It's addition. It's fodder for the show.
Is it right? Well, and it's inspiring because now I might actually have time to go grab a cigar on my way to work now.
There we go.
There you go.
So there you go. So
Yep.
enjoy.
Enjoy as well.
Hey, it's like one of those spontaneous on-stage appearances like they used to do at the
Yeah.
Tonight Show. Thank you.
There we go.
All right. Thanks, Pat.
Bye.
Bye,
Cheers.
everybody.
Bye.
What were we talking about before Pat got?
Larry was talking about how he's doing.
How are you doing, Lawrence?
Real good now. You know, I mean, we can only go uphill from here.
I am looking forward myself to West Virginia football. That's all
Are
I'm going to
you now?
say. Yes, I am. They have some incoming players that are of interest, and I cannot wait to watch a game and watch the announcers.
Screw that up. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be a group of people with lead pipes and guns just sitting there with the announcer.
The two of you out there in podcast land that could possibly be interested in this, please Google West Virginia football and
Yeah, I'm not giving it up.
Find out what we're talking about.
Yep.
So we got a couple things going on today.
Yes, we do.
We're drinking libations provided by Greg, which I believe is a Glenlivet 12-year.
Yes,
It
is.
is. Glenlivet 12 single malt.
Oh, the double oak.
Yes.
Very shishy there, Greg.
Yes.
It's a very nice product, yes.
Yes. Bottle and box being right
Accosted by the beaver, as it were. Yeah.
there. Why does everyone pick on Bucky? I don't understand.
Please,
Have you looked at him?
Show the Buck respect. That's all I
He's
ask.
fat, overweight. His shirt doesn't fit. Looks like all three of us. We're good. That's why we pick on him.
You better try again.
Greg, that's the
chewing.
nicest thing someone's never said to me. Thank you.
So let me do a Greg. And getting back to cigar topics, what are we discussing today?
Well, we haven't talked about what we're smoking yet.
Well, while we start there, Greg, go for it.
Oh, you want me to go first?
Oh,
Okay.
Just tell us what you're smoking. It doesn't have to be a long soliloquy or anything.
Well, since you said that, so I'm just got the last SAR today. As you all know, it's my favorite. See previous episodes about what's in it. Great stick. You need to try it if you can find it. If you can't, you can contact me and we'll talk about a price.
His plan all along.
Yeah. Well, I am smoking Cavalier's Inner Circle. I love these Cavaliers.
There's two different kinds, you know.
That's a great stick.
Okay, well, why don't you tell us the two different kinds, smart ass?
Well, which one?
No, you were so wise and mouthy. You see the band. What is it? Go on.
The Domaine Rouge.
Yes, this is the Domaine Rouge. Very good, Greg.
I want a cookie.
Like you need another fucking cookie, Slim.
I need many cookies. What's your point?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you went to the opera yesterday,
I did.
and I cooked all day yesterday.
I'm cooking today as we speak, in fact.
If you'd have gone to church in the morning, you could have had a wafer. No?
So I'm smoking Rocky Patel's
Saved by the gorilla.
Jesus criminies. No, I'm smoking Rocky Patel's LB1. My dad gave to me. I think this is only the second or third one of these I smoked, and it's really good. What I mean, it's rock.
Gorilla pilfered the other two out of my humidor.
No. Actually, I think the first one of these I smoked was one of the Christmas Day. No, that was what's the one with the big black label? Is that the 20-year or
The number 6?
Yeah, the number 6. Sorry, I got those confused. That's also it's Rocky Patel.
good,
I have not had a single Rocky Patel that I did not like.
Good.
Which is the best way to drink out of that?
Honestly,
I'm watching him figure it out. It's kind of fun.
Take bets, folks.
just because I don't want to do it like this, and all of a sudden it just all comes like a dribble glass all over me. You know what I'm going to do next show? I am breaking out the stein that my lovely wife gave me last Christmas.
I thought you were going to say you're bringing a silly straw, and I was going to have a fit.
Oh, no, that'd be great. If we're going to do a silly straw, though, he'll just put it directly in the bottle.
Fair enough.
Yeah, screw that.
Hey, at least you got a plan.
Pops, what you smoking?
What do I have here? I have an Arturo Fuente Rosado Gran Reserva. Ecuadorian sun-grown Sumatra wrapper, Dominican filler and binder. It's a 5x52, mild to medium as far as the power goes. Really nice, kind of soft, subtle flavors on this. A little bit nutty, a little light pepper, a little light sweetness. Going great with a Scotch because it's not overpowering the Scotch at all. If anything, it enhances that flavor a little bit. This is one of my favorite Arturo Fuentes, and I kind of try to roll one in. I've only got a handful of these left at the moment, so I try to roll one in about once a month. But yeah, just a really smooth smoke. Also great with a cup of black coffee.
Right on. Good stuff. So, Gorilla,
Yes.
you had an inquiry.
I had an inquiry that I was going to ask you guys privately, but then I thought, actually, perhaps there are audience members who are in a similar situation or maybe in a similar situation at some point. So I figured I'd bring it to the show to discuss and see where it went. For the attentive video viewers, you may notice there is a box on the table. That is the, yes, thank you, Vanna. Thank you, Vanna. Please don't spill the Scotch. That would be...
Oh, that's that. Oh, I was trying to figure out what the clink came from.
No, the
I'm
clink
like,
is the bottle of Scotch that's only about 4 inches from the edge of the table. It's fine.
There. Now.
That is the desktop humidor that my dad gave me for Christmas 5 or 6 years ago. It was when I was living up in Colfax. Mm-hmm. Came with some cigars, cutter, lighter, all that jazz. And as I mentioned a couple episodes ago, or I guess 2 or 3 months ago now, the Gorilla's smoking is pretty much relegated to this show and occasionally outside the show at when I'm working late at the office or maybe at home. But I was down to very few cigars per week/month. So I did not have a need to stockpile a bunch of cigars. However, with the new year and a certain unnamed employer who has graced me with more hours, my expendable income, don't make that look, my expendable income is increasing, which means my ability to buy and stockpile some cigars to smoke is increasing. So I would like to get that back into a place where it can be humidified, be seasoned, and store cigars, but it has not seen humidification in probably 3 years.
For starters, that was a look of intrigue. Nothing to be alarmed about. Second of all, what you're telling us is, as a cigar smoker, you were negligent in the care of your humidor.
And you had asked when I mentioned I had a desktop humidor that I wasn't using. For the $12 it takes to keep a Bovita pack in there, I could buy a cigar and smoke it, as opposed to keeping an empty box seasoned. Financially, that made more sense to me. But my foolishness now provides an opportunity to discuss how would one re-season a humidor. Maybe you got one as a gift. Maybe you neglected one like the For Shame the Gorilla has. Or maybe you're getting one as a gift for the cigar smoker in your life, and you want to be able to either get it ready for them or give them instruction on how to get it ready. So my question to you guys is, one, how would you re-season that humidor?
You know, first off, we still have to address the fact that you have neglected this lovely humidor. I have an idea for another podcast. I think I'm going to call it Cigar Court.
Oh, God.
I don't know.
I'll bring up every video clip I have of you ashing on yourself, almost smoking the wrong end of the cigar, smoking the wrong person's cigar. If we want to go to the cigar court, I will bring fucking evidence, bitch.
And don't forget, we still have the video that's never aired.
Yeah, the cigar court will be in session, motherfucker. You do not know what you have brought upon yourself. I have so much blackmail.
And don't get me involved in this, because I was sitting here going to say I kind of agree with the gorilla. Given the choice between $12 for a Bovita pack and $12 for a cigar, I agree with your choice.
Where the hell are you
and
people buy
to be fair,
$12 Bovita packs? And it's pronounced Bovita, not Bovita.
bougie fuck. Anyway, to be fair, I tried to keep it as best I could with those nice little water pillows you get, but those aren't the same as a Bovita. They're not releasing, the right amount of humidity, and I wasn't keeping up with it.
And the other hard part.
You see, here's the thing. Y'all mock and laugh at Cigar Court, but you know who I'm going to get to be the judge?
Judge Judy?
Nope.
Here we go.
So anyway.
Chuck Norris. Go.
Bitch, do you know Chuck Norris?
If you do, why hasn't he been on this podcast more often?
I was about to say.
So,
What
Gorilla.
was that earlier about writing checks your body can't have?
Yeah, no kidding. So, one of the things, too, I'll be honest with you, Gorilla, I think one of the hardest things to do when you have a humidor that has no cigars in it, it's very hard to keep it humidified, especially for as long as you're talking 3 years with no cigars in it. Be damn near impossible to keep it up because you'd have to fill that space with something.
Yeah, I think that was the problem I was having, because I was trying, but it was never holding.
I hear a bunch of excuses, Lawrence.
For God's sake.
So
You gonna help me or not, motherfucker?
So here's the deal. Here's the
You're
deal.
asking for the gorilla to just start throwing handfuls of shit at you. I mean, I don't know what else. I'm trying, man. I'm sitting over here.
Audience,
thinking,
I promise someday you'll learn how to re-season your humidor. We're going to get there.
I'm hoping that this is just going to pass, but you just keep fucking shaking the cage. Sooner or later, a handful of shit's coming your way, man. I don't know what to tell you. I'm hoping he's a decent aim, is all I'm saying.
So there's a couple methods
Proceed.
you can use.
Okay.
The first one, obviously the longest one, is standard way you would humidify a small desktop humidor like this one. You're going to wipe the inside with distilled water. So you get a little towel, terry cloth, something like that, damp, not soaking, damp. And you want to wipe the inside an hour, every couple hours for like 2 or 3 hours to get the wood started to start accepting moisture.
Prime it.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's couple different ways to go about it. Our proprietor at our local shop will tell you to go to Bovita and get the large bags, the 80% solution Bovita packs, and put a couple in there and leave it shut just like that.
The big one.
No, you don't have to get the big one. You can get the regular size, the ones that they make for smaller humidors.
Oh, okay.
In this case, this is about a 50 count?
I think so.
So you're probably looking at 2 of the regular size Bovita packs. The ones that are, I think they're 6x4. So you're looking at 2 of those. You go get the 80 proof one, so the over humidified, and you put them in there, shut the lid, and you leave it alone for about 3 weeks. And then you can open it up and check. It's going to be high because obviously it's 80%, not 70 or 69, I believe is the ones that we normally get at the lounge. And then what you would do is after you got that humidity way high, you take those 80% out, discard and put your 69% in there. Give it another week. She'll be seasoned and ready to go. And as long as you keep the humidity in there, you'll be fine. Here's the caveat. When you're talking, and this goes with any humidor that's not small, like, the size of our little hand ones, our little 10 counts that we keep. But if you're
little travel humidors.
Yeah, if you're talking a 50 count, 100 count desktop unit, if you only have 10 or so cigars in there, the humidity pack's going to work extra hard to keep the cigars and the box humidified. So you want to fill the space. The tip that I was given is take some newsprint, crumple it up, and fill the excess space. Like if you're, let's say it's a top tray, you look at me puzzled.
No, I'm not puzzled at all. I'm actually quite intrigued, and this is actually a look of admiration and realizing that I have learned something I did not know before. This is called self-awareness. So why would you accuse me of some type of fucking
So
shit?
anyway.
The sunglasses make it hard to read your emotion.
Yeah, exactly. The sunglass, I can't really see what your eyes are really saying. So
the
anyway.
sunglasses
Also-
create resting bitch face. I'm not going to lie.
Yes.
Also, based on your history,
That's true, too. So back to the newsprint, okay?
Please. No, I'm intrigued. Please, go
So
on.
let's look at, like, you and I don't know if Larry has one or not, but you and I both, at least you used to have, Rocky Patel at his events would give out a 100 count box. They're beautiful. They've got a top shelf and then a bottom space, right? Remember that one?
yep.
Yeah, this is why I was just fucking with you, Anthony, because I've got 3 humidors at present that are not humidified or seasoned. So I'm just fucking with you because I'm in the same boat.
Cigar court. More evidence.
Dun, 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 dun.
What the hell was that?
Law and Order. Anthony can cut over that with something good.
Oh, good Lord,
Something
man. Something.
So anyway,
You are not Hans Zimmer.
if you look, no, certainly not. I'm more like, what's the other one that's really old? John Williams.
No,
But just
you're-
age,
No,
not that
he's
good.
good.
Yeah.
No, I know. I'm saying
No
but
shit.
age-wise, I'm
Jesus
close to dead. So the biggest thing is when you're talking that space. So you're talking a larger format humidor. Does this one have a shelf in it? I don't know.
No.
Okay,
does
no.
not have a shelf.
So it'd be the same principle. Like, if you only have 10 or so cigars, fill half of it with newsprint. The other half is where you store your cigars.
Okay.
In the case of like a tabletop 100 count box, it has the top tray and then the space underneath. If you don't have enough cigars to fill that space underneath, you put newsprint, crumpled up newsprint in the bottom, or computer paper, whatever, it doesn't matter, but something reasonably clean. And then you put your cigars on the top tray, and because that excess space is filled, the humidification system, be it Bovida, be it a Zycar puck with a solution in it, or a Cigar Oasis machine. Well, Force machine is different, but it doesn't have to work so hard because there's less free space. A humidor works its best when it's full.
It's the perfect excuse to buy more cigars.
Absolutely, it is.
Yeah, fuck the computer paper. I need to buy more cigars.
So prime it with distilled. Emphasis on distilled, I'm assuming.
The reason for distilled water versus tap water. You're basically creating, especially in your house, we'll get to that in a minute, but you're creating a situation for mold to build if you're using regular tap water. Distilled water has been purified. It doesn't have anything in it, so when you wipe that down, you have less chance of introducing mold to the box.
All right. So prime it with distilled water. Once an hour for 2 to 3 hours.
Yep.
And then the big 82% Bovida until you get high humidity.
About 3 weeks.
And then drop it down to your 69 or your 72, whatever your
Whatever you prefer.
72 if you're in a drier climate, probably, I'm guessing.
It's a preference. Like my humidors, both of mine are forced ventilation. I've got an Oasis 3.0 like Scott does in my big one. I think Larry too. So it's a forced humidity situation. I have mine set to 68.5%. It typically holds it between 68 and 69. That's what Cuban cigars are typically held at. That's what I happen to prefer. So I leave mine a little lower. 70 degrees at 70% humidity is the benchmark. You can move up or down 5 degrees, or 5%. So
So that's how to reseason a humidor. I thought of a couple questions for maybe you're shopping for a humidor and you find some used, or you're shopping for someone. Crack that thing open because I got a question.
Allow me.
This is how it came. If you take a look in the bottom of the box, this will require you to pick it up and turn it around. This is an interactive part of the podcast.
Oh,
I need you.
I was showing the
you,
viewer.
the knowledgeable cigar people. On the right-hand side of the bottom of the box,
I see.
are you seeing the thing? Not that. I mean, yes, that. Move it out of the way. On the bottom of the box, there's some stain in there. Is that a concern, or is that not? There's some off color.
Please.
That was as it came to me.
Does it grow mold?
Not that I've seen.
Then I would not worry about it. It's probably just a stain in the wood of something sitting on it.
Okay, that's what I figured, but I wanted knowledgeable, and there will be photos on the video just so you can see what we're talking about. But yeah, that's the one divider it came with, and that's the box.
Yeah, it's a nice little humidor, perfect for holding about 50.
And that's about as, honestly, for me, for as much as I smoke, that's about as big as I'd want for the foreseeable long future. Look, I know you laugh, but
That's how it starts.
That's exactly how it
I'm gonna
starts.
slide this over just a little bit. Another little tip, since we're talking about reseasoning, if you're out and about, thrift store, antique shop, whatever, and you see a desktop humidor, number one, yes, it can be reseasoned and used, but what you're wanting to look for is how that's sealed.
Yep.
So if it just opens up like a shoebox, really, really smooth, really easy, you may have a hard time getting that to seal. And that's something that if it's been sitting a long, long time unhumidified, you may have to prep it a little longer than 2 or 3 times.
because that wood's gonna expand a little bit with the humidity and get that little grippy.
Yeah, and honestly, that's what you want. So when you're wiping it down, make sure you're wiping the lip here on the inside of the box, both sides, inside and out. Make sure you're wiping the face of the lid and then the face of the box. Any place that's exposed raw wood on that, wipe that down so it can start to absorb a little bit of that distilled water. And then you're going to know once it starts to absorb some of that and expand a little bit, it should get a little bit tighter.
Now, do you want to show them the build test on to see how it fits?
Is this Ron's little trick?
Yes. So
There you go, sir.
I will do this sideways here. One of the things that the proprietor does.
You got to scoot this way a little bit. You're a little too far off that end of the table. Bucky's in the way. I'm just gonna say it. Bucky's in the way.
Wow.
Damn beaver's always in the way.
Wow.
How would you know?
I
That's
might
not
not.
very nice.
Okay. So as you're saying, in a thrift store situation, you're not going to know. But if you put a bill in, close the lid, and pull, it should come out gently and easily. This one's, it's okay. It's definitely loose because
But
it's
it's
been
not
unhumidified.
terrible.
But it's not terribly loose. The bill comes out real smooth. So that's what you would do is you would take the bill, close the lid, and if you have to fight to get the bill, it's too tight. When you humidify it, you're not going to be able to get the damn thing open. It will literally almost suction closed. But if it just slides out, a little humidity in that box, it's probably going to seal perfectly and you're good to go.
Excellent.
Okay.
I'll also throw out. This is just my opinion. You guys can tell me if I'm right or wrong. There's enough places to get decent humidity and temperature sensors. Put one in your desktop humidor. Why not?
Oh, 100%.
Why wouldn't
Yes.
you? The little one that's in there, we flashed it a couple times. I can probably go back and find the link. I got it off Amazon. It was maybe $20, but it has been fairly accurate temperature-wise, fairly accurate that I can tell humidity-wise. And if it wasn't, it's got a little adjuster knob that, hey, I put it in a humidor I know is 70% and it's showing 72. It has the little adjuster knob so you can calibrate it. So
Now, if you're using the Bovida system, they say you don't need a humidification system in there. That's their opinion. I always err on the side of caution because you have to know, when it's going to run out. And that, too, is another thing that I know I've done it. I would venture to say both of these two have done it, too. Especially if you're using this as strictly a storage box. It's not your everyday smoking. You forget about it.
Yeah.
So if you're not checking your Bovida packs once a month, eventually you're going to completely forget about it. It's going to dry out. All the cigars will suck up the moisture, and once that's all gone, then they dry out, and you've got a whole new problem on your hands.
And, and I typically, if say I buy a bag of cigars down at Tobacco Republic, they throw the little water pillow in there. Usually, as a tiny bit of extra insurance, I'll add that water pillow in to the box because it'll usually dry out before the Bovida does.
Yes.
Just as added insurance, essentially.
Yeah.
The Bovida system is a two-way system. It'll absorb moisture when there's too much. It will release moisture when there's too little.
That's why I figured there's no harm in putting that
1
by 1 inch water pillow in there.
But it is so much easier now to season a humidor with those Bovida packs. I mean, it makes life so easy. It's almost
It takes the
idiot-proof.
guesswork out of it.
It really
Absolutely.
does.
100%.
I mean, when I first started smoking cigars and you had to go through the whole calibrating the hydrometer and making sure it's right and everything's right, it's just a pain in the arse.
That's another thing that comes to mind. When you buy, let's say you buy or you acquire one through whatever means necessary, the hydrometer and the temperature sensor that are in the thing, or if there's one built into the box, they're useless. They're wrong. They're cheap, and they don't keep accurate temperatures. You did the right thing. You went and bought another one. So it's one of the things I always recommend is buy one, set it in there, keep it going. I'm kind of failing that at home because my stand-up, I'm relying on my Oasis system to be accurate, but I know you keep one in your big humidor just to double check it. So it's always worth the investment.
Yeah.
And don't be a cheapskate. Buy a good one.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
why,
let's
that's why I
back
spent
the
$20
truck up.
on that little hockey puck size thing because I knew if I was spending $20 on it and it had good reviews, it was that's the same damn battery that it came with.
Well, that's what I was
And
about to
it's
say.
been going for 6 years.
The whole idea of don't be a cheapskate, what that means is because cheap is relative, you don't have to spend like a lab grade hydrometer.
No.
Hydrometer. Ugh. Get something. I mean, you can find stuff on Amazon for $20, $25. That's reasonable.
The Govee system on Amazon. They're like the little pucks are like $25. They Bluetooth to your phone, so you can walk by your humidor. It goes bing, and it tells you what the Govee thinks the temperature is versus what your others is. They're great.
Sure.
So
And in the grand scheme of things, if you have a 3,000 count stand-up humidor that's 2/3 full, you got a hell of a lot more invested in cigars than what you,
Then you could possibly spend on a good
sensor.
sensor.
Yeah, even if you're in the $35, $40, $50 range on something, it's definitely a good investment to make sure that nothing goes haywire in that humidor.
And I'll tell you right now, if you have like a stand-up humidor like I do, or if you've got multi-rows, get multi-ones. And then you can kind of compare the two because sometimes you'll look at it, the bottom level where your source of humidification is a little higher, and as you go up, it gets lower and lower and lower, which tells you need some circulation.
yeah, and another thing, if you wouldn't mind, Scott, tell them the story on you and I moved yours, and this goes to large humidors or small humidors. You're started in your office. It's now in your den at the top of the stairs, if you will. Loft. So, yeah, why did we have to move it?
Well, because my office is on the second floor. Below that is the garage, which is not insulated. So summertime, all that heat comes up to my office, and I started noticing that I was having a real hard time keeping humidification because stuff would just dry up so quick. So I was like, oh, well, this is a problem. So I moved the humidor over into the loft where it could get air from throughout the house and stay cool. And lo and behold, life was easier.
And that's, it's something you have to consider because you have to figure where's it going to sit. If it's it needs to be climate controlled. Remember, 70% humidity, 70 degrees. You need to find the right spot in your house. And like mine, there's a reason for that same very reason. Mine are not upstairs in my bedroom. They are downstairs in the living room because in a 2-story house built in the 70s, it's hard to keep that upstairs cool.
Exactly.
So during the summertime, it's a dry out game, and you don't want to be stressing. This sounds weird, I know, but you don't want to be stressing the cigars like that where they're bouncing between dry and humid all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard on the wrapper leaf especially. We also have a friend at our local brick and mortar that had his stand-up humidor across from a large window for a while. And it would get late afternoon sun
right
on the bottom half of the humidor and change the temperature and humidity in that thing on the daily. So, and it's not something you may necessarily think about, but placement of, especially if you have a larger humidor or even a desktop, if you have that sitting on your desk and it's by a window, that's going to affect, how that box is, getting heat.
Yeah, we can't all be lucky ducks and live in Florida where the humidification is great.
Yeah.
True.
Just throw them out on the desk. They'll be fine. So I think that pretty well covers your
I think it does, and
yes.
I will attempt to document said reseasoning for potential sharing among the masses.
Very nice.
We can revisit this if it succeeds or fails horribly.
Well,
It
I am
won't
glad
fail.
we could be of service.
Thank you. You judgmental asshole.
And there it is, the flinging of the shit.
The fuck, man? I just admitted that I am guilty of the same thing, and he called me a judgmental asshole.
Yeah, apparently it wasn't enough for the gorilla.
I'm testing the year of nicer Scott.
Yeah.
Patience is a virtue, and I'm taxing your virtue.
So,
It is tax season.
so I want to put you guys on the spot for a minute here.
Oh joy.
All right.
No, we're not going to the next opera with you.
I kind of figured if anybody that's got the cultural significance to appreciate it, it would be Gorilla, not the two of you. But anyway,
What the hell? Where'd you get that from?
I've never heard of you going to an opera. Musical, yes, but not an opera.
Yes. I enjoy a good concert.
Good.
Significant.
So anyway,
Spell significance.
He's taking us to
jackass.
Shen Yun.
Oh, there we go.
pass.
Hell yeah, I'll go to Shenyun. Why would you not go to Shenyun?
Doesn't look interesting to me. Anyway,
Wait.
Let it go.
Let it go.
so all of our fellow
drinking.
podcasts have been putting out their top lists of the top 10, top 25, top whatever. Great list. You guys do you. I was talking about this with Larry the other night when we were hanging out at the shop. Is there something you have smoked this year that you think would warrant a top status?
Are you talking 2024 as in the last?
No,
15?
2023. 2023.
I'm just trying to clarify.
Because I know what my favorite is. My favorite happens that we got new this year happens, or this last year in 2023 happens to be the Sword of Laban from Apostate. That's been my new go-to and my favorite one so far this year, or this past year.
If we were compiling a list, the Sword of Laban, Apostate's the Sword of Laban would definitely be on a list. Also, the Paycheck from Room 101 would be on that list. What else is... There's a couple that, and I don't know, a couple of them may have fallen back into even 2022. The three of us bought boxes up at Rocky Mountain and then split them, a third each
That's true. I forgot about that.
for Adventura.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All three of those Adventura cigars that we got were excellent cigars. That's so. Yeah, there's quite a few on there that I think if we were making a list, Don Doroteo, has put out a great cigar.
I still want the Alcalde. I have not had the Alcalde yet.
Neither have I.
We got to find a vendor that has them.
But yeah, there's we've talked about this, and I've never felt the need to, this is our top 10.
No, I don't really. I don't want to compile a list. I'm just saying, for me, it was just, when I think back on 2023, that the Sword of Laban for me is the one that sticks out. As one of my favorites on the. But yeah, compiling the list, I don't smoke enough of them from getting enough new stuff in from my local brick and mortar to be able to compile a list of everything that came out new. But what I did smoke, that one I happen to enjoy the best.
Yeah, that was a great stick.
Let me be real blunt here. No, not horrible. It's not horrible bad. I'm not just talking shit. I mean, in all seriousness, the whole top 10 list, as I said, if you do top 10 list, that's totally cool. I get it. But I go back to this. Who the fuck am I? Who's this guy? I'm a 54-year-old black dude telling you what I think the top 10 is. What does it mean? Nothing. It means absolutely nothing. I can tell you about the cigars I've enjoyed, but to come up with a top 10 list for me, my personal view, you can take it how you want to, it's kind of silly. And I'm not raising judgment. I just think for me to do that would be kind of silly. I mean, some of my favorites of 23, the Etafal, definitely, that is just amazing. And after I get through smoking my box, I will probably never see one again because they were a limited run. Then there was, of course, Adventura.
Yep.
Another one, CLE, the Connecticut and the Habano.
Yep.
Fantastic cigars. And then, of course, what I'm smoking right now, the Inner Circle. Much love to Brian.
And Sebastian.
Yes, I can't leave out Sebastian. But those are incredible cigars. But to put a top 10 together, this industry is ever evolving. It is always moving around. So what my favorite was in 23 wasn't on my radar in 22 for whatever reason. 24, I might go back to 22 and say, hey, I haven't smoked this in a while. The Perdomo 10th year anniversary champagne is always one of my favorites, but there may be a space of time where I don't smoke that. Doesn't mean I don't like it or it's shit or I've outgrown it. Just means it's just, I'm not smoking it this time. There's other stuff I'm smoking, but I'll go back and remember fondly grab one and just be like, geez, like when I was in Florida, there was Perdomo all over the place. So, of course, I'm going to grab up a 10th anniversary or a 20th anniversary is fantastic. Yep. But to compile a list on an ever-evolving market for an organic product, to me is, I don't know. I don't want to give it a name because, like I say, I don't want to pass judgment. I'm not talking shit because guys I respect do top 10 list. And, hey, do you. It's all good. I'm just telling you just this lowly dude's opinion who smokes cigars. Don't follow my lead on what to smoke. You know what you like.
That's great. But here's Gorilla's top 10 for 2023.
Fuck you, Gorilla.
Well, Gorilla, and that begs a question. What were some of your favorites that you can recall that you
Is the
smoked
first one going to surprise you even a little bit?
No, because it's mine too.
Sort of Laban.
Yes.
No, I have to relay this story. Hang on. So we go down smoke at the shop the other night. First time I'd been to the shop in a while. Smoke Sort of Laban, take another one to go. It's sitting on my desk all wrapped up. I'm going to smoke it maybe later that night or the next day. A customer walks into my dad's shop. They're talking. I hear, hey, Anthony, you still have that Sort of Laban? Yes.
I remember that. Hey, finish the story.
Yes.
I'm a lumberjack.
Could I have it so I can give it to this customer to try? And you guys seen where my desk is now. I poke my head over and just kind of look. Fine. But I was repaid with another sort of Laban. It was all
The
good.
same evening.
The same evening, but hours later.
The term of this episode is cigar jacking. You got cigar jacked. That's about the equivalent from back in my old neighborhood when you're riding your bike, minding your own business, and 2 or 3 big dudes come up and go, "Hey, that's a nice bike." You know what's happening next. You're walking home.
So yeah, again, can't wait to have them back on the show and talk about their releases from last year and the new releases coming up. Because again, Apostate makes amazing shit.
Yeah.
So, the other ones that have stood out, actually, that barbacoa, the taco truck one that Derek sent us, that one was really, really good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that one a lot. One of the first ones I smoked in the bag you gave me for my birthday, the Illusion Epernay, something like that.
Yeah, the Epernay.
Yeah,
Epernay,
that one was really stood out in my mind. And then we need to get back down to Lodi because I need me some Big Sky tobacco.
Yeah, I agree with you.
All of those were fantastic. I think the one I know I smoked is the Yellowstone, but the rest I want to try some of the rest of them because they are.
Gentlemen, there is this Thursday. We could always make a trip.
I agree.
Forcibly.
Yeah. One disadvantage of this not being live, me giving dates out, I mean, by the time everyone listens to this on Sunday,
Hey, we'll
Thursday
talk
would have come and
about our
gone.
Thursday trip on the next episode.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I got another cigar for the show to smoke.
Do you?
Yes, this is a budget cigar.
Whose
Typically-
oh, wait a minute. Whose budget?
Yeah. Yeah, you got to be specific.
Let me put it this way. I get a 100 count box of these for $60 usually. 60 to $65. $60 to $70.
Does it have a plastic tip?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm in.
But it's a decent budget cigar. So look forward to that in a future show. And it's a cigar bid find. No, this is not like the Fighting Cock episode. No, not even close. I actually think these are decent.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Oh god. To be fair though, every time you said, "Oh, I have a budget cigar for you guys to try," I've been pleasantly surprised. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, good for you, because there's been a couple I've smoked. And I'm like, what the hell, man?
Well, there's been one that you've smoked that never made it on the program that I believe the quote was "not ever again, not even at gunpoint."
Yeah.
So,
For those of you that don't know, we'll see if at gunpoint works.
yikes.
You can try.
Yeah, it'll just get taken away by some fancy Krav Maga shit.
Maybe, maybe not.
But and that's the thing. The lists are cool. I agree with you, but for me, it's more of a. This one stood out. It was one of my favorites. That one stood out. It was one of my favorites. I think that's a little bit more different, especially for our listeners. You may not want to hear us with a list, but at least these were our favorites. Check them out.
Yeah.
Try it out. You'll like it or you won't.
And if you do or don't like it, send us a note. Tell us how you felt.
And if you've got something in your local market that you're really fond of, you don't know if we've heard of, reach out to us. Let us know what it is, and we'll try to track it down and give it a shot, man. We're not above searching out new cigars for sure.
Oh, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
And because I like creating more work for Greg, what were some of your favorite cigars? Let us know either via email or the social medias.
Actually, that's another thing too. Thank you. Yes. Let us know, social media or Facebook. I also was talking. So y'all know that I traveled back and forth to Idaho quite a bit. The group that I hang out with up there, we've all started building listener or music lists on Spotify. So this was something I was throwing out there. We all share them back and forth between that group up there. So if you all got some cool lists of music that you like to listen to while you smoke, send us a freaking link so we can see the list, take a listen, and see what you like to listen to.
What the fuck are you doing over there tamping out that cigar?
I wasn't even looking at him for that.
You know
I
what's
was
really funny? The camera has a perfect shot between the Glenlivet bottle and the box that I'm going to zoom in on while he's doing it. Although I will say, it's funny you mentioned the Spotify playlist. I've been going back through my music because when I was working at the summer camp or working at Grocery Outlet, I had so many random, just assorted bullshit from, suggestions I got from friends. Oh crap, we don't have the playlist for the thing we're doing tonight at camp. Someone make it real quick. So I cleared it all out, and I've kind of been re-going through stuff I know I like and discovering new stuff. So, yeah, I would be interested to see what the audience has for specifically listening while you're smoking, because I'm a big fan of, picking music for, I've got a driving playlist. I do have a working in the office playlist. It's a little more chill, so I'm intrigued.
Well, we got to get this fellow on the show. Will out there in Boise, he's got I think it's called Whiskey Blues is what he likes to listen to when he smokes. The music is just really cool, really chill, great music. And, that's what got me the idea is we're sharing this all back and forth. What do our listeners listen to? And
Why have we not, and you've come up with a great idea, Greg. I know you're not used to me saying that, but you just came up with a great idea that we should, the four of us should get together and develop, because we all have Spotify, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm. I do now.
And we come up with our own cigar playlist, and it's available to anyone who wants to pick it up and share it.
That's a great idea.
Hey, I know all four of us. That is freaking tonal whiplash. That playlist is going to be like getting in a car accident.
That's okay.
What the fuck? Why would you think that? I just want to know, why would one think that?
I so I have to warn people about this if they go on road trips with me or they hang out with me. It's like, hey, if I'm putting my music on, you are not prepared for the abrupt genre shifts that my music tastes include. It's rather violent.
So's mine.
Yeah, I mean you
hell.
listen to Scott. You get into his car to go somewhere with him. You never know if it's going to be Frank Sinatra, some nice, pleasant sea jazz, or freaking gangster rap. It's a crapshoot. So what?
Oh, and you left out Insane Clown Posse, Linkin Park, a little bit of Anthrax, some of the classic rock of the 60s and 70s, old 60s soul. Hey, I run the gamut, man. So if you think that your selection's going to be,
Okay.
you know.
I think we get all four of us put together, and then you randomly pick from each one. You want to fuck some people up with some genre shit? I got some banjo shit for you.
Oh, there you go. Hey, I can go from Nessun Dorma to Linkin Park in a second.
I've sat there when you've done that. So
Yes,
yes,
I
you
have.
can.
Downshift into Old Crow Medicine Show.
There you go.
Goddamn right.
All right.
Followed by sea shanties from the Gorilla.
Okay, you've won.
No, the favorite playlist I have, and I have a video someone took incognito of me. One of the things I used to do at the summer camp was I have that recipe for the spaghetti sauce from The Godfather. So the end of the season, while we were cleaning up, I'd spend one day in the kitchen and make a big, camp staff size pot of that sauce. I have the spaghetti playlist. Nino Rota, Frank Sinatra, Lou Monte. So I have a video that someone sent of me cutting up all the veggies and singing along to Lou Monte, and they're just filming it through the door, and they just hear Italian music muffled through the wall.
Does someone come by and say, hey, where's Paulie?
No, in fact, one of the years I finally said, screw it. Camp season's over. We're off contract. We can watch my fingers are doing quotation marks, movie. We ended up watching The Godfather one year, and it was, I think, 90% of people's first time watching. So that was a cool experience.
Greg has not seen yet.
Hey, he's read the book. Movies next. We might have to have a movie night. Movie night at the shop.
How long has it been? It's been a year and a half, and you have not seen the movie yet.
No, but I've read the book 4 times.
Yeah, no.
And by read, I mean listen to
I
it.
was gonna say, no,
Yeah,
haven't.
you have not. You've listened to the book. You've listened to Joe Mantegna tell you a bedtime story.
Yes, I have, and I enjoyed it.
Again, like I said the other night, the CHP gets really angry when I'm holding my book in one hand while driving, so audiobooks are fine.
Yeah, I
I'm
agree.
with Greg. It's okay.
In fact, I just downloaded a new one that looks very interesting.
I do not own an audiobook that I do not have the physical copy of. Does that make you feel a little better, Scott?
That does make me feel a little bit better. Is this the part where you say, okay, boomer?
Okay, let's back up a little bit.
Let's back up.
You You got a new audiobook, you say, Greg.
Uh-oh.
I do.
The Queen.
Orton here's a who.
No, so the audience does not know this, but you two do, and so does, I think Gorilla does too. My favorite author is
Shit.
F. Scott Fitzgerald.
wrong. Arthur Conan Doyle.
Oh.
I like the Sherlock Holmes series. I like it extensively. I can tell you what book it is. You tell me the quote. I'm a nerd when it comes to that. So
Just to that.
Audible has. I've also have a few Star Trek books downloaded into my repertoire and read and listened to those. So Audible's now making suggestions based on my playlist.
Oh boy.
It's already suggested the next Mario Puzo book in the Godfather series. But it suggested something the other day, and the I've never heard of it, never heard of this author, but the title was the quote was basically Star Trek meets Pirates of the Caribbean, and I went, "What the fuck is this?" Right?
Oh, hell no.
So it's basically
right up there with Minecraft in Korean or Klingon.
so basically it's supposed to be a shall we say a 1700s sailing vessel book where they're chasing after something with a little bit of sci-fi in it. I don't understand. It just looked interesting, so
It
we're going to
piqued
see
your
how that
interest.
goes. It did.
Hey,
You know,
Doesn't take a lot, does it?
not often.
No, I can just imagine how that would go. As soon as I heard the premise, I'd be like, oh, hell no. Do not fuck up Star Trek for me. The Enterprise shows up in the 1600s. That's about as bad as fucking Star Trek Forwarder looking for whales.
Oh,
to save
God, I
the
hate
planet.
that one. I hate that one.
I mean, that one and the one where they search for God and the first one.
That's
Those
5.
three are god awful. No pun intended.
we're losing Larry.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll make this very brief.
Well, Larry watched almost all of DS9. He's missing a few episodes because they took him off of Netflix.
I want to slit my own wrist. You guys are killing me.
He did watch TNG and DS9. I was present. Don't let him fool you.
Well, I gave him my password to Paramount Plus so he could watch the rest of it that he missed.
There you go.
Scott, what are you lighting up now?
I am lighting up La Grande Classe by Illusion.
Ooh, good stick.
I still have a full bundle of these.
Oh, very nice.
These are fantastic. And thanks to my lovely wife, I can smoke in a house because of my rabbit air.
Wait, is that new information?
That's not, well, quasi-new information, but
Are you
yes.
relegated to the one room the rabbit air is in?
Of course.
Okay, that's. I thought I knew that, but I wasn't sure if that now meant you are free to roam with the rabbit air on a little cart behind you.
Yeah, I'm walking through my house like Tony Montana.
On that note, if you did not listen to the previous episode, excuse me, there is now a clip on our YouTube page of Scott and Larry reviewing said Rabbit Air A3s they got for Christmas. So if you are considering making that purchase or want to hear more about it, links will be on screen in the description, subconsciously transmitted into your brain. You know, all the things the gorilla does. So yeah, check that out.
Very, very nice.
Yep, fabulous purchase.
Fabulous, he says. You've adopted that word into your lexicon, haven't you?
It works.
Why are you afraid of that word, Mr.
I'm
Robinson?
not afraid of the word. I'm just fascinated the fact that Larry just adopted it so quickly.
And be careful using the word lexicon. He may not know what that is.
That's all I have to say.
You don't have to flip him off. He's right. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Told you.
Help me help you.
Dude, what are you, dude? We're on video now. People are looking at this going, that fucker doesn't know what that means. And you'd be right, sir, and or madam.
Gorilla, if you wouldn't mind, would you please put the definition of lexicon onto the video podcast, please?
Of course,
Thank you. You're helpful.
I try.
Text it to me while you're at it.
I try so hard.
That's all right, man.
Okay, I love you, man, but this goddamn...
I feel like you're trying to sip scotch out of something that's meant to chug beer.
It
And
is.
I
That's
don't
what it's
think-
for.
I don't think. Now, what you should do? You should find yourself one of those mini goats and get one of those little horn shot glasses to go with.
Yeah, that doesn't really lend itself very well, does it?
Just sipping.
It does not.
It's
lend
very
to sipping.
attractive, though.
No, it's very cool. I just feel like I should be yelling, "Innkeeper, more grog!" But yeah, it doesn't lend to sipping.
If you change it to gorilla and hand him $100 bill, he might go get more.
More grog? Where's their grog?
Yeah, where?
We can make it. It's not that hard.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not gonna trust you guys to make grog. Are you nuts?
It's just watered down rum.
Oh, yeah, let's water down some fucking rum. There's an idea.
Yeah.
That's not the dumbest thing you've ever said, but it's in the top 5. Jesus Christ.
Oh God, I love it. Yeah, I think it's beer in the Stein
I
next
think
episode.
I think you should probably go back to your regular glass.
I think we need to take those into Granite Bay Brewing over here and see if they'll fill those for us.
You know that's going to happen. What are we doing this Friday with the wives? I think we should go to Granite Bay Brewing and we'll bring our grog glasses.
I got to find mine. What?
Never mind.
Really? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Where did it go?
Dude, your mom's packing up everything that ain't nailed down so she can paint.
Fair enough.
Okay, I'm glad you added the last part. I'm like, what the fuck is she packing? What's going on, man?
I got one foot out the door, the other one on a banana peel.
They're moving. They're
I'm like,
moving.
are you okay, man?
They're moving to Enid, Oklahoma.
Oh, God.
No, that's not true.
How'd you pull Enid out of your ass?
Because you said it 2 episodes ago.
Oh, yeah.
No one wants to live in Enid.
No, that's why there's 2 broken wagon wheels out by the mailbox. That's as far as they could get.
Well, there goes our 2 fans from Enid, Oklahoma. We've already alienated
They
our
were
friends
probably
across
hate
the
watching
pond.
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take hate watching.
Well, I
As
mean,
long as they're
realistically
watching.
speaking,
One of the two is probably related to me.
we probably offended 90% of the people in Oklahoma on the conspiracy theory episode with the fucking projection of the moon.
I re-listened to that episode. If you have not,
That was hilarious.
if you skipped over it because you
yes.
saw conspiracy in the title, go back. You missed a good episode.
There's also something else that we found a little bit of AI, and we'll talk about this real briefly before we end this. We've been fooling with AI, which is like
We sounds like a whole lot of people, sir.
Scott and I.
Greg and I, which is pretty much like that video of that, what was that gorilla or that orangutan who was given the AK-47 by the by the 3 or 4 African soldiers. Yeah, that's Greg and I fucking with AI.
Mm-hmm.
So we found this thing to make our live
Reels.
to create reels easier. And it came out with some pretty good stuff. And we did a reel. It's on Instagram. And I think it was on our Facebook page too.
Both, yeah.
And it had a clip from the conspiracy theory episode. We've got to do more of those. We've got to take advantage of the time we have for it to get more reels out for clips for the show. Over the next month or 2, you're going to see more reels from just clips we've taken out of the show. And I have been encouraging people to subscribe. We've gotten a couple of new listeners.
We're actually getting an average on 1 to 2 new YouTubers a week.
Yeah.
Or I should say an episode. So welcome.
Yes, absolutely. Welcome. Keep
You're
watching.
stuck here now.
Actually,
in all seriousness, as another podcast person, I'm curious if we're liking that and we keep using it. What do the audience think? Do they think the clips are good selections from the episode? Are they funny and or informative, or are they kind of weird?
Well, it was actually funny when you say that, Gorilla, because when Scott and I pulled the conspiracy theory episode, we pulled an hour of it because it's by minute for this program, right? The one it picked at 99% accurate, Scott and I both listened to it and went, nope, we can't do it.
No.
in a vacuum, 100% that clip is great, but yeah, not in a vacuum.
But and then I think I told you guys this too, and you'll forgive me. I have not looked up your name. I was not well prepared for this, but fellow subscribed to our podcast and came up and said, hey, he loves listening to us. And did we know any other comedy podcast, cigar based podcast for him to listen to? So Thank you for the compliment. We do appreciate that.
Yes, we do. Two of our favorite cigar podcasts, along with our own, would be the Cigar Junkies and How About That Cigar?
Absolutely.
So check those guys out. They're fantastic. Sunday mornings, if you can catch the Junkies, they do a live show from
Just the Tip Cigars.
Just the Tip Cigars.
And then How About That Cigar is Monday nights,
Yes.
Monday in the evenings on Facebook, YouTube, and probably a couple others.
Yep. And we've also had them on the show, so I will throw in where you can find our show with them if you want a sampler,
Absolutely.
so to speak.
We believe in giving people love here. All right, boys. I think it's about that time. Gorilla, take me home. Well, because I've lit another cigar, I have failed at this probably for the last 5 episodes, where I'm not down to the nub and the glass is not empty. But regardless, it's about that time. I want to thank everybody out there for listening. And on behalf of the Gorilla, live from the enclosure, Lawrence, Gregory, and myself, thank you for listening. Check us out at LumaCigarCartel.com. Like and share us on Facebook. If you happen to come across our reels, be sure to share them with all your friends. If you don't have friends, make some. And as I say, if you got enemies, hell, talk some shit, put the shit on theirs, and let them chase you around a little bit. I'm Scott Robinson, and on behalf of all of us here at Beyond the Humidor, we look forward to chatting with you on the next episode. And I just thought about my funky keyboard part. I don't know if I'm going to make it, but we're going to try. But I lost my train of thought, so I'll just say we look forward to talking to you on the next episode. And until then, as I always say, here it comes. Good smoke, good drink, and good life. And damn it, it didn't happen.
You just...
You got another little bit to go if you want to.
It's about
Nope, not yet. Damn it. Another
8.
round.
8 4 measures.
Uh-huh.
Or no, not even that much. It's right
on.
here.
There it is. Jesus
And
Christ.
there we are. I love it. Enjoy, boys and girls. Good night.
Cheers.